For centuries, FNAF fans have been begging companies, make the Withered animatronics. And finally, in the year 2024, 2025, we're getting bombarded with Withered stuff. So let's get into it.
Slinky and Turtle have a very important message for you guys. That there is going to be brand new merchandise.
Oh, look, the Withered's there. So around last year, we got a bunch of Withered figures from Youtooz, which I never actually did a standalone review on. So this video is going to be kind of a double review between these and the new Funko Pop versions. So Funko's finally gotten around to doing Withereds after years of people asking, after they lost the action figure license, so it's kind of less important now, but hey, at least we got them. So both companies did Withereds. We got the Funko ones right there all stacked up. Now, I'm going to compare them in this video and look at them, and I'm opening the Funko ones for the first time. I've had these Withered ones for a while, though, from Youtooz. Now, I am going to take a detailed look at the Youtooz first, so if you'd like to watch the Funko Pop stuff, I have time-stamped when that begins. So, here we've got the full set of Youtooz Withered figures. Now, these are very, very cool when they released, although I wasn't a big fan of how limited they were. They did show up on some other websites afterwards, thankfully, but yeah, very lame how Youtooz keeps releasing these things and making them super duper limited, because this is a really great set, and I think people should be able to get these easily. They just released their Nightmare set, which is even better than this, I think, and they made that limited as well, and it's just lame. I think these time frames for Youtooz are getting way too low. At least give people like a month or something, you know? But hey, at least we got this set, and they also included the puppet in the set right here, so yeah, these are pretty good figures. I wish they would have ditched the Youtooz eyes during this wave rather than the wave after, because, man, if this wave dropped and they didn't have the Youtooz eyes, that would be so perfect, because the Phantoms look great, the Nightmares look perfect. I wish these had the same treatment, although the rest of them is still pretty good. Like, we got Withered Freddy here. He is very detailed, very good, very hefty. Like, this is a substantial, like, weight difference compared to the previous Youtooz waves. He is heavy, and he is very structurally stable. Like, he stands up very well, which I wouldn't have expected with how he looks, but no, he's very balanced. So, very, very well-designed figure here with Withered Freddy. Very well detailed. I think everything looks good here, all the wires hanging out and such. I like him. The only figure here that I think has a very glaring inaccuracy is that the puppet's box here is the complete wrong color. It's supposed to be blue. I'm not exactly sure why it's white. Also, the puppet's body doesn't really fully exist. It just kind of goes into a black void, which is meh. I think on the website originally, the body wasn't even here on the puppet, which was funny. Originally on the website, it literally just had floating arms, which looked really bad, but I'm glad they changed that at least. We've also obviously got Withered Bonnie, who looks great. He does have his normal, like, little laser eyes, which is cool. They did find a workaround where the Youtooz eyes are indented into his endoskeleton, but you can't really see them most of the time. I think this is one of the better looking figures in the wave, although I wouldn't say he's my favorite. I think Freddy is probably my favorite, but this guy's a close second. The only reason why I can't call him my favorite is I'm not a big fan of how the wires in his face look. They look too, like, thick and, like, I guess noodly. Like, they're way too thick looking, and it kind of makes them look like he has, like, gray goop, like, seeping out of his face instead of wires. And it's just a nitpick, but I do wish the wires there were thinner, or at the very least darker, because I also don't think the light color they chose for them is very accurate. Withered Bonnie's wires in his face, I'm pretty sure were, like, straight up black, but I don't know. You can see very well on this guy, he does have a lot of, like, airbrushing and blackwashing and stuff, and it looks very, very good. I like how the actual, like, suits on these guys look. Withered Freddy had it a bit too, but it wasn't nearly as drastic. But you can see, these are much more detailed than the previous FNAF Youtooz they made, which is really cool. Withered Chica here also has a decent amount of dirt washing, although I'd say hers looks the worst, just because I don't really think this color of yellow works as well. They probably should have gone for a bit of a darker yellow for her. That's a nitpick though, but yeah, I don't know. I like this look. She's definitely not my favorite in the set. I don't know why her endo jaw has such, like, an overbite on the bottom. I do like how they did the head though. I like how it's actually, like, separated properly and it's, like, fully see-through. That is really cool looking. Yeah, this figure is very accurate. There's something about it's a little off, but it's not that big of a deal. She looks good. And then Withered Foxy here also. I think he might honestly be... He might beat Withered Bonnie. He's at least tied with him, because the detail on this one is fantastic, and I have absolutely no complaints with that. I think the wires here, too. The wires here are very thin. Like, they definitely could have made them thinner on Withered Bonnie's face, and I think this color also looks better on the wires. So, I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, this guy's really, really cool. Again, airbrushing on him looks fantastic. I love that. Then we got Mangle here, which should be the best one in the set, but it's kind of weak for the fact that it's pretty small, and this is prone to breaking. This is a very fragile figure, so you have to be very careful with it. A lot of people were unfortunate and actually had it arrive broken, which is very disappointing. My Shadow Mangle figure, which I'll grab right now, my normal Mangle did not arrive broken, thankfully, which I'm very happy about, but my Shadow Mangle here arrived with its foot pretty much completely detached. And it's weird though, because it's like, it goes in, but it's weird. Like, I can put this on the shelf and it looks fine. I've seen people have a lot worse, but it's just such a weird break to me, because it just looks like they forgot to glue it. Like, they forgot to put any glue inside of this joint, which is why it just falls out. But it's like, why did that happen? How did that happen? I don't know. They released this before the normal Mangle, by the way. They are direct repaints of each other. Obviously the regular one is better, but yeah, I don't know. These feel very fragile. Like, look at the arm there. It's already, like, rattling. I'm very nervous to handle this thing, because I'm always worried it's gonna break. And if you want to see, like, a direct comparison with the airbrushing, you can see here, Withered Bonnie, much more, like, dirty looking. I think it's the exact same color, but you can see here, they did a lot more to it to make it look withered and dirty, so that's cool. Withered Freddy is a less, like, good example, because they're such different shades of brown, but yeah, you can definitely see here. Also, Withered Freddy, he's quite a bit bigger, and he's much heavier. This one's very lightweight. This one is very heavy. The Withered Wave, I was just very satisfied, besides Mangle. Not very satisfied with Mangle. Very small, very rickety figure. Kind of worried it's going to break, but the rest of them are pretty good. Then a weird bonus figure they included in the wave was Venom. Not really sure why he was here, but honestly, probably my favorite. Like, this is just an immaculate figure. They did a great job doing him. You know, he got his tongue sticking out and everything. The big cloud background looks just like the comic book cover. They did a really good job on this one. Very happy. The gargoyle, too. That is such a cool detail. I am just very happy. This is probably my favorite one in the whole Withered wave. Not really sure why he's here, but very cool. Alright, so now we got that out of the way. We've got Withered Chica, Withered Bonnie, and then we also, obviously, to go with them, we got Withered Freddy, and Withered Foxy, and Mangle. So, yeah, we've got every figure in the new Withered Funko Pop wave, and I'm going to review every single one of them, saving Mangle for last, because this one is awesome looking. I don't want to review that first, because I'm the most excited for it, but yeah, this wave, I am very skeptical of, because from what they've shown, I'm not a big fan of the sculpts they used, or the colors, or anything, so very skeptical, but I'll give them a fair shot. Now, to give Funko an immediate point, actually, for this, character selection, I think Funko gets the edge, because, well, although this exact wave only includes the 4 Withereds and Mangle, they did make the puppet beforehand, so that's one that Youtooz made that Funko also made. They made this a few months prior. Then also a few months prior, they made a Withered Golden Freddy. So, hey, Funko's set is technically more complete than Youtooz, so that is an immediate point they get. But I think there's no better place to begin than with Withered Freddy. Let's go in the number order that Funko put them in. So, here we got Withered Freddy. Actually, no, Withered Bonnie's the first one. I'm stupid. So here we got the brand new Withered Bonnie pop. Probably the least impressive of the wave. Not because he's bad, but because they already made a Withered Bonnie pop before and it used this exact same mold. So this is basically a repaint, re-release of the same Withered Bonnie they made previously. Although, I will say, I do like the colors on this one a bit more than the original release, so I'm open for it. Also, the original's worth like $300, so hey, easy way to get a Withered Bonnie pop, not gonna complain. This is a great way for people to get him. And yeah, this figure looks pretty good, so let's get him out of the box. Alright, so, here we've got the Withered Bonnie Funko Pop, and I like him. I'm a big fan. I like the metallic paint they used. I wish Youtooz would use metallic paint, because that is something that Funko always never fails on. They always use metallic, which I'm very happy about. Almost always. There's some things that they've forgotten it on, but still. I like the metallic paint a lot. The colors here are great, very, very vibrant, and it looks a lot like him. Lots of black washing, not airbrushing. Like Youtooz opted for airbrushing. Funko always opts for black washing. Different methods of getting the similar effect, but yeah. Like his face, like his red eyes, everything looks pretty on point. Not really much to complain about with this figure. His tail there. One thing I do notice is this is a reused foot from the Nightmare Bonnie figure, which is not a big deal, but it is technically inaccurate because Withered Bonnie's with endo foot is obviously not a Nightmare animatronics, so that's a bit peculiar, especially because in this wave, the Mangle figure they made also does have the right foot design, so they could have just reused the sculpt from there and slapped it on here, but no, this is basically identical to the original Withered Bonnie. They just changed his pose and changed his colors. He has some head articulation, like most Funko Pops do, and yeah, I'd recommend this one. If you like Withered Bonnie, which most FNAF fans do, this is a cool figure. I like it. And then the next one listed in the set is Withered Chica, and oh man, I am not looking forward to this one, but I'll give it a chance. All right, so first Funko Withered Chica ever, and I'm sorry, it's a fumble. What is that face? I mean, I'm not gonna act like I could come up with a better way to adapt this into a Funko Pop, but like, I don't know. Why is the jaw like paper thin? It looks like a pancake. Like, look at the shape of the face. Like, why is it so thin down there? Ew. And then also like the eyes look like, it looks like that one like ransomware image. If you've seen like the FNAF ransomware thing, it looks like that. That's what this face looks like to me. It is weird looking, to say the least. Also, the wires are all the same color, which is meh. Dirt washing on the piss yellow. Not a big fan of how that looks. I don't know. The withering is all right. The body is fairly accurate. The feet are a custom mold to fit the Withered Chica design. But, man, this face is just not doing it for me. I don't know how you guys feel, but this is just awful. I don't like it at all. I don't know what happened here. Easiest win for Youtooz. I'm just gonna like grab this and compare. I was gonna do the comparison separately later, but no, I'm just gonna do this right now. What the hell happened to this thing? What happened to it? Alright, so the next figure in the set is Withered Foxy, and I'll save my thoughts until we actually open him, but let's just get him out of there. Doing this on camera this time for some reason, even though I wasn't before. You get out of there. Alright, so what happened to his colors? I don't understand, because this sculpt here, I actually really like the sculpt. Like, the detail here is immaculate. He looks great. I love the endoskeleton detail. I love how all the wires look. I like how all the withering looks. He looks great. Like, this is a perfect Withered Foxy sculpt. No complaints about the sculpt, but the figure itself is just kind of plain weird looking. Like, I don't know why he's painted like this. They made his snout and stuff a very, very dark brown, and Withered Foxy is a fairly brightly colored character. Like, got a big sticker of him on my wall. Like, that's very vibrant, right? That is just, the figure in the Funko Pop here is just not right at all. It looks more like Phantom Foxy than anything, but it's not supposed to be. I'm just not sure what happened with this guy. It is a very weird case where I like his sculpt. His sculpt might be my favorite of the four, but actually, no, I'd say his sculpt is my favorite of the four. I really like this Withered Foxy sculpt. I think they did a great job on him, but for some reason, he just has this really weird color palette that drags him down. And on top of the color palette being weird, why is he not wearing any pants? Put some pants on. I just don't understand. This is a very good sculpt that is being dragged down by a terrible paint job. I'm sure people could repaint this and make it look great, but I don't know. He just looks very off to me. I'm also not sure about the eyelids. I mean, they're fine. I don't mind the eyelids. I'm just kind of confused by them. I don't know why they decided to make him look sad, but yeah, I don't know. That's the least of my worries, though. But the biggest of my worries is what happened with his snout and his jaw and his torso, and why isn't he wearing pants? So, almost a really good figure, but dragged down by very lackluster color choices. I think the people who work at Funko are colorblind. Like, completely, I don't know any other explanation, because they get the weirdest colors wrong. And this is, like, probably one of their most egregious examples, because genuinely, what happened here? Like, sometimes they'll get colors wrong, and you're like, okay, maybe this is just the best they could do. What the hell is this? So obviously, next in the set, we're gonna look at Withered Freddy, and I am very disappointed with this one from the previews. I feel about the same, not the same as Withered Chica. Withered Chica is still worse, but I don't know. Not a big fan of this guy from what I've seen, but we will see out of the box if he has anything that impresses me. And now, very sad to me, I wasn't right. This is not a very good figure. Now, I think his body looks fine. I like the withering detail enough. It looks fine. I would have preferred some colored wires, though, on his knee. But hey, it's all right, you know? But this head sculpt, I am so sick and tired of Funko reusing the exact same Freddy sculpt they made in 2016. They made that almost 10 years ago, and they're still using the same damn Freddy head for every single release, and it's so annoying, because this should have had a new sculpt, 1000%, but no, they just took their FNAF 1 Freddy Pop sculpt, gave him new eyebrows, and that's about it. Like, let's compare these together, okay? Like, it's not even a question. They just recycled the same Freddy they've been using for years. He even has the stupid band around his top hat that he's not supposed to have. Like, come on, Funko. They just changed the eyebrows, removed the freckles, and opened his mouth a bit more. That is all they did. And it is so lazy and stupid, and I'm sick of this stupid Freddy sculpt. It's on the action figure line everywhere. It's on the Funko Pop line everywhere. But at least on the Funko Pop line, they hadn't, like, reused it straight up for a variant that's not supposed to use it. They just reused the sculpt. This is a lazy figure, and I'm just not happy with it. And now something that bothers me even more is that their Withered Golden Freddy figure featured in it, while it is clearly based on the old one, this is a new Withered Freddy head sculpt. This is clearly based on Withered Freddy rather than FNAF 1 Freddy. They made the necessary tweaks to make it look more like Withered Freddy, and it's very appreciated. But for some reason, instead of using this as a base, removing all the scratches and dirt and stuff, and then, like, giving, like, this is more accurate. Like, they did the teeth differently. It's just clearly supposed to look like Withered Freddy's face. So why would they make a new sculpt that looks like Withered Freddy and then not use it for the actual Withered Freddy? They used it for Withered Golden Freddy, but not Withered Freddy. What is the logic here? Like, it's just annoying to me, because now these don't even match together. It's just, why do they do this? This still has the band on his hat, but at least the sculpt was changed. This is just lazy, okay? This is stupid. So, how do I feel about Funko's Withered animatronic set? It is mid. By Withered Bonnie, definitely. Maybe by Withered Foxy if you like the colors. These two, complete pass. I'll be honest, I like these two, okay? Withered Foxy, I can look past the colors and see a really great sculpt, you know? And this one, it's just old reliable. We all knew the Withered Bonnie pop looked good, so release him again, sure, he looks fine. So these two, I recommend wholeheartedly. These two, I cannot recommend less. They are just ugly pieces of crap, and I don't like them. And now for the one you've probably all been waiting for, the one that I was the most excited for, Mangle. Now, this is a really cool inclusion. The box is a bit excessive, though. I don't think it needs all this space. Actually, no, I'm going to open it right now and see how much space the figure actually takes up. Look how much empty space is in there. Come on. They could have made this box a bit smaller. It's just a bit, like, it's a waste of space. So the inside of the box has this FNAF 2 office backdrop. But it's like a really weird, like, cropped image, so that's funny. Alright, so let's get Mangle out of the box here and take a closer look, and wow. Okay, I can immediately tell, much more sturdy than the Youtooz one. This thing feels sturdy and well put together. This one feels like it's going to snap in half if I breathe on it wrong. So very, very big plus here. Also huge. Look at the size comparison. And this is like, this is 25 bucks. This retails for 25 bucks. This retails for 30. Easiest choice of your life. Also, this one, I just think it looks better. I love the sculpt here. It looks great. The wires hanging off, the face here, the endoskeleton, the jaw, the endo head on the side, the endoskeleton. Just everything about this figure is great. They did a fantastic job on Mangle here. I will say, a little flat on the side profile. They definitely cut some corners, but the head does turn, which is good, but also the head is a bit flat, and I feel like that was, like, that's the thing. Like, this figure could have been a bit further out, and I wish it was, because it definitely does not fill up the entire space of that excessively huge box. Like, let me just put it in there, actually. Look how much empty space is in this box. This is absurd. But yeah, this is probably one of the best FNAF figures that Funko has ever put out, I'll be honest. Like, at least in the Funko Pop line, I can't think of much to, like, compare this to. It's just good. It's nicely sized, it's heavy, it feels substantial, very well put together, and very accurate. Just, like, good Mangle figure. I can't recommend this one enough. If you're gonna get any of this wave, I'd say, like I said, definitely get Withered Bonnie, definitely get Mangle. These two are must-buys, and then if you're feeling adventurous, maybe get Withered Foxy, because I think he deserves some love. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm happy with the good figures we got out of this wave. I'm just disappointed Withered Freddy and Withered Chica couldn't get the same love, but hey, at least this figure is fantastic. Really, really happy with this. Don't really know what else to say, though, because it's just, like, it's just kind of good. Like, is there much else to say about this? This is just a good figure. I recommend it to anybody. Very good. So now on to the comparisons. Here we've got the Youtooz versus the Funko Withered Freddy. Now, this is the easiest decision ever. Let's be honest. Like, let's just be honest with ourselves here. There's not really any competition. Obviously, this one. No, this one, obviously. Withered Chica, I already briefly compared, but this is the most egregious one. Like, again, not really a question here. It's very clear who cared more about the character. I just still don't understand. Look at that. What the hell is going on with the jaw? How did this happen? It's, like, perfectly flat on the bottom. I don't understand. Now, this one here is debatable. If I had to be honest, I would pick the Funko one. I do like the head shape on this one more. Just like the general shaping on the Youtooz is much better. I will give them that. Like, I think the sculpt here is much more accurate, but I do just kind of prefer this one just because I think he has a bit nicer colors. I like how the wires in his face look more. And I don't know, he just is more appealing to me. These are both good figures, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick this one. The metallic paint is carrying this one a lot, though. And then Withered Foxy, if the Funko one was painted properly, I genuinely might prefer him, but I just can't give him too much credit because of how bad his colors are. I'd say the sculpts here are pretty on par. Youtooz might be a bit more technically accurate to the game, but I do like both of these sculpts pretty equally, but I think Youtooz gets the edge just because of the colors, but these are both pretty decent. This is growing on me, okay? Like, even though he's, like, looks like he is left in the oven for a little too long, he looks fine. Now we got this comparison, which I am very confident on. I already kind of did this comparison earlier, but, you know, pretty easy decision. The Funko one wins easily. It's more affordable, it's bigger, it feels nicer. I just can't recommend this one enough. This is a very, very good figure. I appreciate the Youtooz for how ambitious it was, but Funko just engineered this sculpt a lot nicer. So, very, very happy with this. Alright, so, here we've got the whole, like, lineup here. I would say that these are both very good sets. Youtooz definitely has a bit more consistency, but I will say Funko Mangle, perfect figure. Cannot recommend enough. Funko Withered Bonnie, recommended. Withered Foxy, yeah, I'll recommend him. And then there's only really two stinkers in this set. But hey, if you want to throw in Withered Golden Freddy, that gives Funko even more of an edge. I don't know. I like both of these sets, but if I had to recommend one more, I mean, I can't really recommend the Withered ones from Youtooz anymore because they're not for sale anymore, so I guess by default, Funko has to win. Although, okay, now they win. If you can get a hold of any of the Withered Youtooz, that is great for you because I think they would be great. Like Withered Freddy here, can't recommend enough. Withered Chica, I recommend him. Withered Bonnie, very good. Withered Foxy, very good. Like, if you can get a hold of any of these, definitely go for it. But if you're trying to stay on the cheaper side, these are definitely not bad. And, yeah, I don't know. Especially Mangle. Like, I can't preface enough. Please buy this Mangle figure. Let Funko know that we want more things like this, because this is so cool. I want to talk about... Oh, look, the Withered's there. I got a little bit in box, and I need to show this in a video, because it's really cool. I got a great deal on this. I finally have it. I win. I'm winning.